Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. So I welcome you again to your English class, and today we'll do poem number 5 from your Honeysuckle book. The name of the poem is Where Do All the Teachers Go? And this poem is written by Peter Dixon. So before reading this poem, I would like to ask you a few questions. Do you also wonder where your teachers go after the school timings, what they wear, what they eat, and what they do at home? And do you also wonder that had your teachers ever been students also and got scolded by the teachers? Yes, every student wonders about this, and we also used to wonder this when we were small kids, when we were students. Okay. Actually, for a little child, a teacher is very special, and it is very difficult for a small child to think of his or her teacher as an ordinary person. So, this is a poem in which the poet expressed his curiosity to know about his teachers. He wants to know what his teachers do after the school timings, what they wear, what they eat, whether they watch TV or not, whether they go out for shopping or not. So, let's start reading this interesting poem. And first of all, I'll read the full poem and then I'll explain the each stanza one by one. So, let's start reading this poem. Where do all the teachers go when it's 4 o'clock? Do they live in houses and do they wash their socks? Do they wear pajamas and do they watch TV? And do they pick their noses the same as you and me? Do they live with other people? Have they mums and dads? And were they ever children and were they ever bad? Did they ever never spell right? Did they ever make mistakes? Were they punished in the corner if they pinched the chocolate flakes? Did they ever lose their hymn books? Did they ever leave their greens? Did they scribble on the desktops? Did they wear old dirty jeans? I'll follow one back home today. I'll find out what they do. Then I'll put it in a poem that they can read to you. So, in the first paragraph, the poet wonders and questions where all the teachers go after 4 o'clock when the school gets over. The poet wants to know whether, like other human beings, their teachers also live in houses and wash their socks. Means, do they also do the routine work like other people? Now, look at the second stanza. Do they wear pajamas and do they watch TV? And do they pick their noses the same as you and me? So here in this stanza, the phrase pick their noses means inserting finger in the nose. Okay. So here the poet wants to know whether his teachers also wear pajamas at home and do they also watch TV at home just like other people? The poet also wants to know whether his teachers also clean their noses with their fingers the way other people do. So actually the poet can't imagine his teacher doing all these activities. He can't imagine his teacher watching TV or washing socks or wearing pajamas at home. Now look at the third stanza. Do they live with other people? Have they mums and dads? And were they ever children? And were they ever bad? So now here in this stanza, the poet wonders whether his teachers also live with other people, means whether they also have their families, whether they also have their mums and dads. The poet is also curious to know whether his teachers also ever been children and were they ever bad, means did they ever commit any mistake or did anything wrong when they were children? Did they ever never spell right? Did they ever make mistakes? Were they punished in the corner if they pinched the chocolate flakes? So here in this stanza, the word spell means to form a word or words with the letters in the correct order. And the word pinched means stole. Now here the poet is very curious to know whether his teachers also made mistakes, whether they also spelled wrong. The poet is also very curious to know whether his teachers were also ever been punished for stealing the chocolate flakes. Were they ever been punished for eating food in between the class? Do you know some students, they have the habit of stealing food, they have the habit of eating food in between the class. Do you have this habit? Do let me know through the comment section below if you have this habit. This is not a good habit, but still some students, they do this in between the class. They steal the food, they eat food in between the class. So the poet wonders whether his teachers also ever been punished for this. Now look at the next stanza. Did they ever lose their hymn books? Did they ever leave their greens? Did they scribble on the desktops? Did they wear old dirty jeans? So, here in this stanza, the phrase hymn books means books of religious songs or poems. And the word scribble means to write or draw something carelessly or hurriedly. Now, the poet wonders whether his teachers ever lost their hymn books. You might have seen that some students who don't bring their books to the class, they get punishment for not bringing their books. So when they get punished for this, they wonder whether the teachers have never ever lost their hymn books. Now the poet also wonders whether his teachers ever left their greens. Left their greens means, did his teachers ever leave the green vegetables in their plates or in their tiffin box? The poet also wonders if his teachers ever scribbled on the desktops. He also wonders, did they ever wear old dirty jeans? I'll follow one back home today. I'll find out what they do. Then I'll put it in a poem that they can read to you. So, to find out the answers of all these questions, the poet decides to follow one of his teachers on his way back home today, and he'll find out what they do. And when he'll get answers of all these questions, he'll put it in a poem. Means he'll compose one poem that the teachers will read to his students. So this was all about the poem Where Do All the Teachers Go? And as you have seen, this is a very funny kind of poem where a little child is very curious to know about his teachers. So as a teacher, let me tell you one thing, that I also watch TV at home. I also wash clothes at home. I also go for shopping. I've also done so many mistakes as a student, as a child, and I've also got punishment from my parents, from my teachers for doing wrong things. I mean, we teachers are not superhuman beings. We are not from some other world. We are also from this world where you are living. And being human beings, we also do mistakes. All right. And even today, we do mistakes. Because when you try something new, when you do something different, obviously you will do mistakes. But the main thing is that you must learn from your mistakes and you should not repeat those mistakes. Okay. So this was all about the poem Where Do All the Teachers Go? And I hope you have enjoyed reading this poem, and you can also compose your own poem where you can write your answers to all these questions if you like composing poems. So this is all for today, and we'll meet once again in a new video with a new topic. Till then, take care, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.